Hello everyone. In my presentation today, I would like to demonstrate how development schemes targeted towards women could lead to an improvement of the overall human development indices of a population. I would like to start by acknowledging and paying my respects to the Kaurna people, the traditional custodians whose ancestral lands I am standing on right now. In my presentation as a case study, I would compare the state of West Bengal, the region in India where I come from, with prosperous Gujarat, the state projected as a model state by the right-wing BJP government of Narendra Modi. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, scholar and architect of the Indian Constitution, who was himself from the marginalized Dalit community, once said that I measure the progress of a community by the degree of progress women have achieved. He also said that progress of Indian society will be accelerated if male education is pursued side by side with female education. While women literacy have improved quite remarkably since the end of colonization, women are still behind in almost all the rest of the development indices. All societies in the world across continents have disparities of various kinds, but inequalities in India are extreme because here one finds not only economic inequalities but inequalities across many dimensions. As famous economist Jean Drèze and Nobel laureate Amartya Sen exclaims, few countries have to contend with such extreme inequalities in so many dimensions, including large economic inequalities as well as major disparities of caste, class, and gender. Such inequalities result in inequality of opportunities among the different sections of the society, creating an extremely oppressive social system where the lower one goes down the bottom of these multiple layers of disadvantage, one finds more and more disempowerment. Gender inequality is extremely high in India. Women are remarkably subjugated in Western and Northern India. Not only in physical safety, women lag men in almost every field, like education, job opportunities, income, as well as in land holding. That is the area of land owned by a person. I will try to analyze why the situation for women is much different in Eastern India, focusing on the state of West Bengal and comparing its human development indices to another state in Western India. The documentary film titled The Name in the Name of Development, directed by Parthasarathi Banerjee, talks about the conflict between villagers and the state of West Bengal to stop the land acquisition by the big corporates in Singur and Nandigram way back in 2007. The villagers won the battle and the setting up of factories were halted. The proposed industry was shifted to the highly industrialized state of Gujarat, lying on the west coast of India, on the invitation by Narendra Modi, who was then the chief minister of that state. As Shoaib Daniel says, West Bengal and Gujarat lie at the two ends of India's industrialization scale. Gujarat's per capita net domestic product is nearly double that of West Bengal, according to Reserve Bank of India data. But should we measure development in terms of gross domestic product, or should it be measured by how the fruits of development have reached the people lying at the bottom of the society? Gujarat has always aimed for massive capital intensive industrialization, but in Bengal, we see that despite being a so called poor state, it leads rich Gujarat in almost all the human development indices. The villagers in Singur were led by a firebrand lady named Mamata Banerjee, who, riding on the anger of the people, went on to become the chief minister of West Bengal after winning the next elections. Since she has been leading this state, Banerjee has always prioritized women's issues by giving the slogan For Mother, Motherland and People. 48.71% of the state's voters are women, and the chief minister has introduced as many as 250 welfare schemes targeting women. This slide shows a publicity still of the government used in the just concluded assembly elections, which Banerjee again won decisively by banking on the women voters of her state. It clearly shows who forms the backbone of her support base. Banerjee is seen being flanked by women from different social strata, making it very clear who are the prime beneficiaries of her various schemes. Various social welfare and women and child development schemes have been introduced. Let's take a look at how some simple schemes implemented systematically and with a vision of achieving women empowerment can lead to a brighter and healthier future for the entire population. One of our main schemes is the bicycle distribution schemes called Shobuj Sathi. The government of West Bengal in 2015-16 introduced a bicycle distribution scheme. It was announced that an estimated 4 million students studying in classes 9 to 12 in government and government aided schools would be provided with a bicycle. Madrasas, which are special schools providing Islamic instructions, would also be covered under this scheme. The primary objective of the scheme was to achieve gender equality by enhancing access to secondary education for all students. The government website mentions that the other objectives of the schemes are uh, to increase retention in schools as well as to encourage students to take up higher studies, to inculcate confidence among the girl students by promoting mobility, and to provide environment friendly and healthy means of transportation. Then we see the health card scheme. On 30th December 2016, the West Bengal government introduced a health card for all members in a family and parents from both the spouses, covering all pre-existing diseases from day one of enrollment. For empowering the woman in the family, this health card initiative has a unique feature. This card is issued in the name of the eldest woman family member as head of family. Ruposhi scheme. The West Bengal government introduced an initiative to provide a one-time financial grant to economically stressed families at the time of their adult daughters' marriages, effective from 1st of April 2018. The objective of this scheme, as mentioned in the official website, is aimed at mitigating the difficulties that poor families face in bearing the expenditure of their daughters' marriages, for which they often have to borrow money at very high interest rates. Money is transferred only to the account of the woman beneficiary. She must be the solitary account holder to receive the benefit of this scheme. Kanyashi scheme, Kanya meaning daughter. As per the official website, the Kanyashi scheme aims to ensure that girls stay in school and delay their marriages till at least age 18. It uses a social safety net mechanism that has shown a high degree of success in transforming the lives of children and adolescents in several countries in the world, which is conditional cash transfer. This scheme gained worldwide attention and also received an award from the UN in 2017. As of today 21.47 million applications have been sanctioned with more than 7 million beneficiaries. To ensure that leakage doesn't happen, Banerjee had launched a special program called Government at Your Doorsteps over the last year, ensuring door to door delivery of these benefits. Along with this, the public distribution system has been improved remarkably over the last 5 years to make sure that necessary food grains reach the interiors of villages. This has been made possible by strong local governance at the village level. We can see that various women-centric social welfare schemes have resulted in better access to basic education, basic hygiene, and banking. Like the percentage of women who have been to school at least once are much higher in West Bengal than Gujarat. Also, the percentage of women having bank accounts and percentage of women having access to sanitary napkin and basic hygiene are also much higher in West Bengal. We also see that the various social welfare schemes by the West Bengal government have resulted in better performance of children in the education sector. Here I have included, along with Gujarat, another rich state, Maharashtra, which also lags behind West Bengal in these indices. Percentage of students walking to school has reduced in West Bengal because of the government's uh, scheme of providing bicycles. Also, the percentage of primary students who are served midday meals, which is a scheme of the government of providing meals to students, targeting mostly students coming from disadvantaged families. That percentage is also higher in West Bengal. Also, the school dropout rate is much lower in West Bengal. The benefits of these schemes can be seen in all the human development indices, because if the health and education of the woman population improves, the general health of the entire population shows improvement. The health of the child improves proportionately with the health of the mother. Thus we see that the children in West Bengal is much healthier than children in Gujarat. Here, from the National Family Health Survey data displayed here, we can see that Gujarat has a significantly higher number of neonatal, infant, and under 5 mortality rate compared to West Bengal. 39% of Gujarat's children are stunted in growth, while 39.7% of children under the age of 5 are malnourished. The respective figures in Bengal are 33.8% and 32.2%, which are significantly lower. This gap has widened during the period Banerjee has been implementing her women empowerment schemes. In conclusion, I would reiterate that development should be measured not by the amount of investment done in industries or by the gross domestic product of a state, but by how much the state invests in the social sector to improve the human development indices. According to Reserve Bank of India's data, the 2019-2020 financial year, uh, the rich state of Gujarat invested 781 billion Indian rupees in the social sector. During the same period, the so-called poor state of West Bengal invested a whopping 1012 billion rupees. Thank you.